Welcome to Help Desk with Joe. We are here live in the Patch Turned Up studio in Spencer, West Virginia, and this is Help Desk with Joe, show number 87. With me, as always, Justin and Joe.
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Good morning. Yeah, it's an interesting morning out. It rained, I guess, and then froze, and then we had some snow on top of it. So, first real taste of winter here in good old Spencer, West Virginia.
Driving test for
Yeah.
folks out there.
It kind of woke everybody up this morning and said, you know what, hopefully you got your snow tires on and you're good and awake and your defrost works and, check out these Appalachian roads, with a little bit of freezy ice and some snow on the side.
Yeah, from the way things sounded this morning, either the roads are bad or since it's the first snow of the year, everybody's forgotten how to drive in it. I'm not quite sure yet which road to take on that one. Or it could be a combination of both.
Yeah. I would have, Davey said somebody, a couple people in the ditch. I just would have thought better of West Virginians, people from other states that don't see snow very often at all. Like, they see it.
Are you saying we're kind of like this morning might be a little bit of an Ohio show out there? Is that what you're alluding to?
Some people out there.
I understand.
Yeah.
It's funny. I came in this morning and saw a bus over in the ditch and they were pulling him out, which nothing dangerous. He just kind of slid a little bit, but at that point you got to be safe. So they're getting him pulled out rather than him trying to spin and cause more problems. So a couple car accidents. So everybody out there, be careful this morning. It's a little dicey. And Justin, as you said, not everybody can drive on the ice and snow stuff. So.
Well, not everybody can drive on regular roads.
It's always bad news when you struggle and it's dry, and now you mix in a little ice and snow, and it just gets worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think everybody had the same reaction. It was a little dicier than what we all expected. We all heard snow, and it's like, the grass will be covered, and that'll be it.
Yeah.
But
What's a little bit of flurries?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it caught us all off guard.
Yeah, I didn't expect. I don't even look at the weather hardly, but I got up this morning. I was like, oh, this isn't too bad. Like you said, the grass was coated.
Yeah.
By golly, once you got on the side roads and the main roads, they're just covered with ice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because Cena's grandma called last night and she was talking. She said, "Yeah, it looks like we're gonna get some snow tonight," and I didn't realize it, and I just thought, probably just a little grass coating, nothing to talk about. But boy, was I wrong.
Yeah. So interesting morning here in Spencer, West Virginia, where we do our show at and our podcast. We have all our community development and after school programs and daycares and everything else associated with Patch. And super happy, Joe, you're able to make it in on these dicey roads. And do you consider yourself like a good winter driver, or who's a better driver? Let's go this route. Let's start the trouble already this morning. Who's a better driver? You or Cena?
Well, as long as we've been married, Cena has been one of the many people that ran through the fence at Conserve.
I remember that. That's why I asked.
And I haven't yet, so so far my record's intact. But
well, your record
I'm not going to brag because then I will just tear something.
I was gonna say your record for not getting dinner this evening just got
demolished.
So.
It just went up 100-fold.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anyway,
you'd have a heyday with this being recorded. She could play it back after you hit the fence.
Yeah. Hey Joe, remember when you said this? Oh yeah. By the way, we have recorded proof.
Yeah, so. We have. Let me show you Exhibit A.
Yeah. Justin, what about you? You have any problems driving in this morning? You had to come out
nope,
before.
Just got to keep it much slower than usual. And
yeah. I always tell people that. So this is my philosophy or opinion. People are always like, yeah, I wrecked because the roads were wet. And I'm like, no, you wrecked because you went too fast for the road conditions.
Yes.
So speed's always the issue. So, slow down out there, people.
Unless it's ice. Now, ice, that doesn't matter.
Go slow.
Well, yeah, but
or don't drive.
Well, okay, I was going to say, because even at 5 miles an hour,
you can. But
you hit ice, you can't.
Yeah, but
right.
You know that. Or hopefully you're aware there's ice on the road. Ice was on the road this morning, so I put it in 4-wheel drive, and I just went slow. So, part of it. Okay. All right. Well, anyway, on to the show that talks about technology and not so much the weather. But it is exciting. This is our first snow and ice day of the season, so kind of exciting out there. Everybody's a little excited, a little nervous.
Yeah, Sadie was sitting at the door wide open, giving me the weather report. I said, Al Roker, shut the door. I know about the weather in my neck of the woods.
Al Roker, that's pretty good. I'm assuming she doesn't know who Al Roker is.
She does.
Did it even affect her? Did she look at you like, what are you talking about, Dad?
She just she said, okay, just shut the door.
Nice.
I think she's finally reached that point of, I don't get Dad's sayings, I'll just do what I'm told. And
Yeah. Sounds like a good idea. Let's shut the door and get ready for school.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, today you got a lot of good stories and you got a product review. So let's get started with this. Help Desk with Joe, as always, helping out consumers and business people. And, one of the small businesses here in Roane County, West Virginia, does great stuff. And, of course, taking care of all the patch stuff. Let's talk a little bit about Verizon. What do you got for Verizon today?
Well, Verizon is going to start things out, getting the big finger point of shame this morning.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So, Dave, I know you and I are on...
I'm on AT&T.
You're on AT&T. I'm on T-Mobile. Justin, what are you on?
AT&T.
Okay, so then we're all safe.
Well, it's not even fun if we can't give Justin a hard time.
Yeah.
I know Justin was my holdout. I was hoping.
What's the odds he'd be an Apple and a Verizon user?
Yeah.
At least you got one thing right, Justin.
Yeah.
All right, so tell us about Verizon. What's the bad news then?
So Verizon, like all carriers, they have their own app.
Okay.
But now you need to go check your security settings or your privacy settings. And let me tell you why. So if you're a Verizon customer and you use the wireless carrier's mobile app, you might want to give your privacy settings a close check. Verizon's app includes access to customer experience programs. The telecommunications company says it will, quote-unquote, tailor Verizon content to your interests. In other words, show you ads.
Yep.
So here's where it gets interesting. Quote, you get the most personalized content and marketing when you opt in to Custom Experience Plus because it allows us to use a broader range of information to better understand your interest, unquote, reads the frequently asked questions on Verizon's website. In order to learn about your interests, the FAQ says it will use information about the websites you visit and the mobile apps you use.
So my first question is, do other carriers already do this?
Probably at some point, but here's where it really gets messy.
Oh, boy. Oh, and there's more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, there's more.
I was just concerned about their tracking your apps and your usage.
But
through the carrier, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, well, Verizon's been in hot water before for doing this kind of nonsense. I'm surprised they're still doing it. Well, it was either them or AT&T. One or the other got in trouble for it once.
Yeah.
Although these are optional programs, Verizon opts you in automatically.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Let us take care of this for you.
Yeah. Yeah, let us track this for you so you don't have to deal with the whole mess of trying to let us track you. We'll just go ahead and let ourselves in.
Boy, that 6-page contract that you just initial and sign when you sign up contains a lot of stuff, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, that contract that nobody ever reads.
Oh, man.
So if you're worried about...
I mean, honestly, you're using their stuff. You got to know it's happening anyway.
But
I'm not saying it's good.
Right.
I'm just saying it doesn't surprise me.
Right. Well, that's me too.
At this point, I'm not surprised.
But you and I have had this discussion on several occasions. If the service is free, you know you're getting tracked.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
But how much money are people sending Verizon every month?
Yeah.
For them to go, oh, by the way, let me help you help myself.
Yeah. I'm going to help myself to your information, and you're welcome.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah, so now
that's a tricky one. I don't know, though. I mean, if you think you're a Verizon user, it's pretty hard to, or it's pretty aggravating to change your carrier and your plan and all that. So I imagine people are just like, oh, that's a shame, and then like, it's too cumbersome to change anyway.
Right.
Do you feel that's? I mean, you deal with more people than I do with this situation.
Yeah. I mean, I've helped carriers over the years, and it is a pain, but just the annoyance and the arrogance on Verizon's parts where I have trouble with, because I'm a huge privacy advocate.
Oh yeah.
And my issue is if Verizon's going to do it, at least be upfront about it. But just automatically saying, okay, we're going to turn this on, this on, this on, this on, this on, and oh yeah, if you want out, you have to let yourself out. Sorry, if you want my information, I should have the option. All you have to do is put a little notification and pops up says, oh, by the way, do you want us
Yeah.
Will you allow us to do this, and this? I'm cool with it, but just saying, okay, we're gonna let ourselves in, and then you have to let yourself out. No, thank you.
And they might claim they let their customers know, but it's just some email that says, "Oh, there's been some changes," and everyone's like, "Yeah, I don't have time for that." Right
Yeah, we've updated our privacy policy, and unless you're a lawyer who rarely reads,
honestly,
the privacy policy,
Samsung has updated a privacy policy a couple times, and I just swipe it to the side. I mean,
well, Cena and I, we was on Netflix last night, and a thing popped up on our entire screen said, here's our annual report on our privacy update, and I just clicked OK and went on. Cena goes, what was that? I said, it's just privacy update, no big deal.
Yeah.
So it's hard to tell what
you just agreed to it.
Yeah. Guess the Netflix is probably monitoring my everything I watch.
Yeah. Gosh.
They call you later. You were supposed to report to the labor camp. What happened?
You agreed to pay extra taxes.
Yeah.
Well, what's the problem here? Your bank account's not very high, though. You better do something. Oh, gosh. Craziness.
But I do have a little good news out of it. If you have the Verizon app, I can give you a quick rundown on how to opt out of these settings. So open up the...
Hold on. This is what I like about you, Joe. You come in and say, hey, this is an issue, and I got the fix.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. You don't often hear that. Usually it's just, oh, this is bad news. Sorry about your luck, and they walk away.
And good luck to you.
Yeah, so, that's fantastic. So, okay, so people out there listening, put your listening ears on and listen to what Joe has to say. I know he's got a silky smooth voice, but don't be distracted by that. Catch all the information here and use it.
Yeah, and it's very easy to take care of this. So open the My Verizon app, then click on Settings, which is the gear on the top right corner of the app. Once logged in, scroll down to Manage Privacy Settings, select the phone you want to update, and then turn off Custom Experience and Custom Experience Plus, and that'll take care of it.
Very nice. Hey, since it's that time of the year, very nice, Clark.
Yeah.
And everybody out there knows what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Anyway, Verizon, you dirty dogs, joining the rest of the crew being dirty dogs.
Yeah.
Huh. I'm still curious how many other. I'm sure if like AT&T and T-Mobile and the rest of them were doing it, they'd have been called out as well, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, it's one of those. Somebody probably made Verizon mad, so they was like, "Okay, we're coming for you." And oh, by the way, look what we stumbled upon.
Yeah, I'm gonna go comb through all your stuff and see what we can find.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Is that all on the Verizon deal?
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, there you go. Again, Joe doing good work for the community and the folks out there. So here's the issue: Verizon's privacy policy, and he just gave you the fix. So get in there and get it fixed and
turn off that custom. What was it called again, Joe?
And Plus, Verizon Plus, and
Custom Experience and Custom.
Turn it off if you don't want that tracking.
If you don't mind being tracked, because you're probably tracked by everything else, then it's fine.
Yeah, but there's just be one less thing to track you.
And here we're worried about TikTok,
Well, now, yeah, but that one turned out to be true, though.
Well, this one's true.
Well, yeah, but everybody called Buff on TikTok and said, well, what's the worst can happen? Well, we talked about a couple weeks ago that I'm just saying, they didn't claim liability, but they said we'll just go ahead and pay the damage.
I'm just saying, even companies here in America are pulling the shenanigans.
Yeah.
So it's everywhere. It's craziness. These and I'm a big fan of phones. I mean, I do work on my phone. I can do my emails, which I really like. I can access information at my fingertips, so I like it. But it is also amazing the amount of stuff it brings with it.
Yeah, it's a very powerful tool.
And I'm one of those people that, hey, I know I'm being tracked. I know it's listening to me. That's why, I say interesting stuff every once in a while just randomly to see what happens. But I'm okay with it. You got to have the good with the bad.
Right.
So anyway, but yeah, it is kind of rough when you get companies exploiting you without telling you. Oh, well. All right, so what's on the next list here? Google? You got some Google information for us?
Yes, sir.
All right, is this a good or a bad Google?
This is good.
Okay. It's going to have a little balanced show today then.
Yeah.
All right.
So Google's Gmail app is now going to let you make voice and video calls all within the Gmail app. And Dave's giving me the deer in the headlights.
Well, I thought you could do that anyway.
Well, you can with separate apps, but
Well, like when I pull up my phone, it gives me an option to do a video call too.
Right, but Google's trying to get everything into one central location inside the Gmail app.
Maybe I'm okay. I don't know what the Gmail app is then.
It's just an email app to get your emails.
Well, I have my emails on my phone.
Right. But inside the Gmail app, they're going to make it easier for you instead of having to close out your Gmail app to go make a phone call with Google Voice or video chat. You can just stay inside the Gmail app and do all that.
I don't understand that, but okay.
So
I am technologically deficient, Joe.
So
but I am doing two-factor authentication.
Two-factor authentication. That's good.
There you go. Thank you.
So this new feature is rolling out on iOS and Android. One-on-one video and voice and video calls are now rolling out for Google Chat inside the Gmail app for iOS and Android, Google has announced. This feature was first announced in September, but as of December 6th, it started to roll out to everyone with Google Workspace, G Suite, and personal Google accounts. It's a simple addition, but it's one that furthers Google's goal to making Gmail the central hub for all its communication services. In fact, Google Posts says you'll be redirected to the Gmail app even if you start a call within the Google Chat app. So Google's trying to centralize everything instead of having 10 different apps to do stuff. They're trying to get everything centralized into one location.
In a way that it almost doesn't seem like the right home for it. I'm sure everyone will get used to it, but at first it just seems like chatting is a better place. Makes sense to go from chatting to calling than to go from emailing to calling. But
yeah, that's what I thought was weird. I'm kind of on the fence on this one. I'm not a heavy Google Voice user. I mean, I have the app and I use it from time to time on the rarest of occasions. So I'm not a heavy user. So I don't see how this is going to help me or hinder me. But I see where Google's coming from. So I'm not sure yet.
You have used it in the past, though, a little bit?
Yeah.
Google Voice?
Yeah, I've used it from time to time. I use it on... The biggest time I use it is when I get those scam telemarketer calls, because I'll use my cell phone number until they block me, so then I'll just go on my Google Voice and call them again.
Yeah. When you're calling them?
Yeah, when they says call this number, I'll call that number until they block me, and then I'll just get a different number and call them again. So I've put these tools to very good use.
Yeah, because you can just create new numbers over and over with Google Voice.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Well, you can, but it's not like a burner number where you can just keep creating on top of new ones. Now, there are burner phone apps that you can just randomly pull a number, use it once, burn it, and then get another one.
Yeah.
But now there are occasions where if I'm doing something that I don't want to give my actual cell phone number out, I will give my Google Voice number out, and then it's set up to auto forward straight to my cell phone. I have used that feature.
Yeah.
But for the most part...
Have you ever received a spam call on your Google Voice?
Yeah, from time to time, yes.
Yeah.
But not very often. Those call spam blocker features that Google's released has cut that down tremendously.
Yep. Somebody knocking. We'll see who it is.
Yeah, it might be Santa. We never know. He might be coming early this year.
Nope, not Santa.
Oh, rats. Well, good. That gives me still a couple weeks to get off the naughty list.
Yeah, Google has so many different things. Yeah, it's probably a challenge for them to kind of keep it, like you said, a little more centralized, so you're not dealing with so many things. Figured out what to pair with what that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see how this one rolls out.
All right, what I missed? Sorry about that. I had an urgent phone call.
That's okay.
Joe uses Google Voice sometimes to prank call scam callers.
All right, not what I expected to come back in here for, but
see what happens when you leave us unattended.
I know. I miss all the good stuff. Okay.
Joe has some extra time on his hands. Watch out, scam callers. He's coming for you.
We was discussing.
This is like the glitter bomb guy. I walk in, I'm like, all right, I like where this is going.
Oh yeah, I need to check YouTube see if he made the new one yet for this year.
Really?
I haven't checked yet to see.
Huh? Okay.
Where Google in their Gmail app, they're combining the voice and video chat features.
Yeah.
They're trying to centralize it all in the Google's Gmail app. So
Right.
It's kind of
That's what you're talking about. I still don't. I mean, I don't know. I have trouble wrapping my head around how all that works because it doesn't seem that hard just to pull up your phone and make a call.
Right. So
is that really going to solve the problem?
Well, I don't know because that's what I was telling Justin. I'm not a heavy Google Voice user, so I'm not quite sure.
I don't even know what Google Voice is. What?
Google Voice and Google Chat is Google's.
Like I'm looking at my phone. Where's Google Voice at?
You download the app, and then you can sign in, and then you can actually get a dedicated phone number for Google Voice. So then, if you don't want certain people to have your actual cell phone number, you can give them your Google Voice number and have them communicate that way.
Oh wow, this is gonna be a real circus then. So now you're gonna have two different phone numbers.
But you can have the Google Voice auto forward to your actual cell phone number if you want. But I've used a few times to give to certain people that I don't want to have my actual.
I wondered
cell phone
why
number.
when I called you, it seemed like a different number.
Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Certain people out there.
Certain people.
Yeah.
So.
Could be useful though. Yeah.
I mean, I could see where people would use it, but man, it seems kind of crazy.
Yeah, to go to the Gmail app to.
Because I mean, they're calling you. What's the difference of how it gets there?
Right. So I'm not quite sure how convenient it's going to be. I understand Google's outlook on this, but I'm not quite sure if it's needed or not.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how it shakes out.
In your opinion, since you're, again, I'm just a Yahoo that barely gets by using the technology I know how to use, but in your opinion, since you're in the technology field, what impact will that have? Do you think it'll be something people are like, yeah, I've been waiting on this? Or it'll be, yeah, this is going to make my life easier? Or is it just something that, a couple people will play with and that's about it?
I don't know. This is where I'm anxious. I'm on the fence on this one. I can't really, it's too early to tell.
But you've already used something like this, right?
I use Google Voice, but I've not used it since they've deployed it into the Gmail app, so
Right.
I don't know how much harder or easier it is to maneuver it in the Gmail app.
The Gmail, see, I don't use the Gmail app. I don't know. Should I be using a Gmail app?
If your email's working, don't worry about it.
Yeah, I got an email I've had since like 1999, so
Right.
Yeah, kind of crazy. Interesting.
So I'm on the fence
22
on this
years.
one.
I got 22 years of that email. It seems like a hassle, and my email's really long because back then, we didn't know.
Right.
It seems like a hassle to switch it.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Technological issues that I have if you're old and your email stuff is old.
You get a lot of spam emails.
I block them and junk them. I got a little icon that says junk or whatever. So no.
Well, the kind of the running joke in the IT field is you can tell the age of a person if they still have a Hotmail or AOL account.
Yeah, oh gosh, I haven't seen one of those for a while. Mine's Yahoo.
Well, I still have a Yahoo account.
Yeah, but I just mean it's my original Yahoo account from
Right.
when I was a teacher teaching you, Joe.
Okay. So, well, then you've had it for a day or two.
Yeah, 1999.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, Google Voice,
Google Chat.
Google Chat. Oh,
Yeah,
geez.
centralized, moving its headquarters into the Gmail app. So we'll see how this rolls out.
All right. We'll see if it's popular or not. Okay. And then, so moving on, you have Instagram.
Yes.
Now I know that's a popular one. So everybody perk up here. We'll discuss Instagram. So we've had one negative, Verizon, one positive, doing something different, Google.
Mm-hmm.
What's Instagram rolling out for us?
Well, they're doing. I'm going to call this a positive, but I'm going to also say it's probably more damage control than anything.
Okay. So a positive with a little asterisk.
Yeah.
Okay. So Instagram, what's up, Joe?
Yeah, so you guys know lately we've really been breaking Facebook and Instagram over the coals with the whole teen issue and all that. So Instagram has announced that they're going to introduce parental control features starting next year.
Okay, so in a month.
Taking a little while. But
Yeah. Well, for some reason, the whole bad press over that report just didn't really do them any good.
Gotcha.
So Instagram will roll out new parental control features on its platform starting in March. The service's head, Adam Mosseri, has announced in a blog post. They'll allow parents and guardians to see how much time their teenagers spend on Instagram, set time limits, and get notified if their child reports someone. The controls were announced as a package of new features designed to make the platform a safer place, particularly for its teenage users.
That's kind of taking the role of Bark almost.
Yeah.
So a parent who has an Instagram account, it would just link with their account, or
Yes.
send them an email when they report
I'm not.
somebody, or
I'm not sure if it'd send them a notification or email, or maybe both. I'm not quite sure how that's going to roll out.
Yeah, maybe a parent opens up their Instagram and says, add my child to my account, or
Link it or
link it somehow.
Interesting.
I would assume that's probably how it goes. You have to have an Instagram account as well to be able to monitor your kid's stuff.
Yeah, and then you gotta hope your kid doesn't start a rogue account and just go with a different one.
Yes, this is absolutely true.
Yeah.
So it says, although Mosseri's post says that these safety features have been in the works for quote-unquote a long time, their announcement comes in the wake of a series of damaging revelations about the Meta-owned social network.
Oh, boy.
Most notably, internal documents leaked by whistleblower Frances Haugen showed Instagram was aware that its service can make body image issues worse for its female teenage users. And this week, Mosseri is due to testify in front of the Senate committee, where he is likely to be asked about the impact of Instagram on its young users. Alongside the new parental controls, Instagram says it's developing an educational hub for parents and guardians to offer them tips and tutorials about children's social media use. In the immediate future, Instagram says it's rolling out the quote-unquote take a break feature it started testing last month. This opt-in feature prompts users to step away from the app once they've been scrolling for a certain amount of time, like 10, 20, or 30 minutes. Notifications will prompt users to turn the feature on, and Instagram says 90% of users in tests have left the reminders on once they've been set. This feature is launching in the US, UK, Ireland, Canada, New Zealand, and Australia yesterday, and will be available globally next year. So, good news that Instagram's actually taking responsibility for their nonsense, but it's sad to see that it took them being in the spotlight for dirty deeds to get to this point.
For it to come out, they didn't take it upon themselves when they knew initially that there could be some issues with kids
After the fact.
overusing the app.
Yeah.
After the fact, look the amazing stuff we're doing.
Yeah.
After it comes out.
Yeah.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
There you go. We're going to David Copperfield you.
Yeah.
Bam. Huh. I don't know. You think... here's the part that I wonder about. Sometimes we have these conversations, and Joe, since you're in the technology field, you do it for a living, and you're in the know, so to speak, how many average people don't know this stuff happens? Like Verizon. I mean, you're spreading the word now that, hey, you got to go in your privacy settings if you don't want tracked by Verizon.
Right.
Instagram's doing this to help, but it's because of this reason that they're upping their game.
Right.
How many average people do you think have any idea this stuff happens?
Very, very few, because most people, when they hear technology, the only thing they look for is the newest phone, or here lately the chip shortage causing chaos across the board.
Still?
Oh yeah.
Jeez.
And then they'll announce something new that the people go, well, that's nerdy, I don't want to hear it, and just blow it off the wayside. And then when important stuff like this comes out, they're going, well, I didn't know that.
It's kind of like snow. There's so much information, so much stuff out there, so much rhetoric.
Right.
How much of the important stuff gets covered up by all that?
Right. Well, and
miscellaneous
and on the mainstream news circuit, everything else is much more important than technology. And I've seen this firsthand numerous times. I'll talk to my dad, and he'll go, "Hey, I caught this on the news yesterday." and he'll play the clip, and he said, "You know about that?" I was like, "Yeah, because we talked about it last week on the show."
Yeah. Well, that's crazy. I run into people like now. I know, my buddy's a Verizon user, and we'll text him as soon as I get out of here and say, "Hey, check your privacy settings."
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? It's kind of, we had that talk last year at Thanksgiving because you reviewed something with Amazon and a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, it's a war on Thanksgiving. They're not showing that on TV because of the war on." And I was like, "No, it's because they sold it and
sold it to Apple.
And Apple didn't want anybody to see it for free. So
Right.
Therefore, that's what really happened." He looked at me. He's like, "That's crazy." I was like, "No, what's crazy is you're throwing out these conspiracy theories instead of just Googling it."
Right.
And I said, "But I just happen to know because Joe covers this stuff." So it's kind of crazy. I get all my technology news summed up in 1 week from this show. Otherwise, I'd be one of those people that have no idea.
Right.
And would just, be listening to all the crap that comes down that somebody else deems as important.
Right. And the mainstream media, technology, unless it's something really big or
something
crazy,
a big hack or something like that.
Yeah, it's not.
Well, news loves bad news.
Yeah.
So, that's what I like. You cover a good broad range of good stuff and bad stuff, but, protecting the consumer or helping the consumer is the biggest thing. So,
well, and what I always do, I comb through the tech news sites, and I find stuff that actually is important to people because honestly, they cover a lot, and they do product reviews and stuff like that, and it's like, and I understand from a consumer standpoint, I get it. It, like you said, they just rain down so much that it's just like you just turn a deaf ear to it.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy. It just hit me because I would never know about this stuff if you didn't tell me each week on this show. Otherwise, I'd be oblivious to what's happening out in the world.
Right. Well, and with the Instagram thing, you're kind of in that rough spot, Dave, where more than likely your kids are on it, but your kids are almost reaching that age of adulthood where they're responsible for their own actions. So you're kind of in that awkward position.
Yeah, I don't have to chaperone them as much.
Right.
But it's still interesting, and I like that these kid features are coming out because, man, it's amazing. We work in after school, and the stories that kids tell and the stuff they worry about is amazing to me. Because I know, back in my day, somebody bullied you, you shrugged it off, you went home.
Right.
But kids cannot stay off their phones.
Right.
And I see it as soon as after school's done because they're not allowed to use their phone during after school. As soon as it's done, though, and they're walking out the door to go get in their parents' car, their phone is up and they're checking.
Yeah.
And it's just habit. And I can see the mental damage there being done.
Yeah. And
it's amazing the mental stress it causes.
And what's hard is, as a parent, a lot of parents didn't grow up with this kind of stuff.
Yeah, and they have no idea.
Shoot, MySpace and Facebook and stuff like that didn't come out till Justin and I
What's
was in college.
What's MySpace?
That was the original.
I know, I'm joking.
Okay.
That's sarcasm. MySpace.
Well, I will say, Dave, you're not trying to take offense to this, but you're in that
I'm dated
category.
I'm dated.
Where MySpace wasn't really a thing by the time MySpace took off. Facebook had.
Yeah, I remember MySpace. That was a big deal.
Yeah.
It was the first sharing of information.
And Justin and I was in college when it rolled out, so
I had a MySpace account.
I did too, and I
mean, I still might. I don't know.
More likely it's still out there if you never canceled it.
So here's the crazy part. In after school now, there's massive amount of studies being done on the detrimental effects of social media for kids, and it's targeted towards girls in the teenage years.
Yeah,
because they're the most active.
Right.
And so they're a big target, and it's being a teenager is so hard anyway. Now you got this, and it's kind of doubling down on it.
Yeah.
And so parents, if you have a teenager anywhere from 9 to, I don't know, man,
17,
maybe even older, I would say early 20s, because it's filtering up.
Yeah.
Anywhere from 9 to 20s, keep an eye on them and try to help them and try to, in my own opinion, curb the amount of time they spend scrolling through social media because, man, it is detrimental like you would not believe. And the studies now, when these studies finally get released to the public, I don't know here's my worry. People won't pay attention.
Right.
But if you have a child that's showing any signs or symptoms of depression, anxiety, loneliness, get them off social media and spend more time face-to-face with them because...
I think, like, hand-in-hand with curbing it is giving, like a healthy replacement for it.
Yeah, you have to do
sort of
something.
activity that is
There's a big book that came out. It's
sports or whatever
Johan
it may be.
Uri,
Yeah.
and it's or the documentary Social Dilemma. Yeah. Either of those. If you like reading, Johan Uri has a really good book out, and that talks about this. And then Social Dilemma is a documentary that tackles it as well. But they're at the forefront. It's kind of crazy. I mean, 10 years from now, people are going to look back and say, I can't believe this went down like it did for teenagers.
Right.
And there's a lot of counseling online and stuff you can do now. So anyway,
well, and
that's our PSA for the day.
Yeah.
If your child is exhibiting any symptoms of anxiety, loneliness, or depression, get them help.
Yeah.
Right.
And from a parent standpoint, a lot of parents don't quite understand the whole cyberbullying, but because when the three of us was growing up, that you dealt with the bully at school and you went home and that was it.
Yeah.
Now this bullying is following them home.
Well, it's only following them home because they allow it to.
Right.
And that's why I say get them off of social media immediately when they get home, because the more the times they open the door, the more times they let the bully in.
Right.
It's super easy to just turn off your social media and walk away and ignore it.
Right.
But kids can't do that. It's ingrained, it's habitual, and it's addictive. So we talk about addiction. Social media is an addiction.
Yes,
and that's what all the studies are showing now. It's a huge addiction.
And a lot of parents, and it's not the parents' fault, because this is kind of uncharted waters. They don't. Well, now let me
say it is the parents' fault.
Hold on, let me finish my statement, Dave.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Joe.
They don't know how to react to this. As far as, I mean, it's getting better. I mean, because the studies are showing, and parents are educating themselves, but it's still kind of quote unquote new, where some of these parents don't understand what a cyberbully is, and they don't know how to charter the waters of sitting down with the child and having a conversation, saying, hey, look, you control your social media. If you've got a quote unquote friend on social media that's being a jerk, guess what? You have the power to block them. You have control of your social media. Don't let these not knuckleheads overtake your social media. This is your social media, and it's kind of a
all right, I'm going to disagree with you, Joe.
Okay.
Because the spiel you just gave is what every parent has the ability to give their child, and they should.
Okay, I will agree with
that.
that.
That's where I'm going to go with this, and I'm going to leave you. I'm going to say this just since we're close to what you just said.
Okay.
If you're a parent and you don't know what to say, take this video, clip out this little bit of Joe right here, and say, "Listen to Joe," because you just said it perfect. That's perfect. That's what every parent should be saying to their child.
Well, and I think, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. Some parents use social media and the phone as a babysitter.
Oh yeah, and they don't,
and they don't pay attention.
But I don't buy that as an excuse, because every parent could give the spiel you just gave. If they're uncomfortable giving it, they can set their child down in front of this. We're streaming this out on Facebook. It's going out on the podcast.
Right.
Every parent could just take this clip of you and say, listen to this guy, because he's, this is what you need to know.
Well,
or they could find it somewhere else. I'm sure there are more people giving that same message.
There's a movie I watched. It's been several years ago, so it may be hard to find, but it was called Cyberbully.
Sure. There's all kinds of...
And it was a movie about a teenage girl where one of her close friends actually created a fake profile and started cyberbullying her.
Yeah.
And it shows the down and dirty of the bad road she went down.
Oh, yeah.
And her mother was completely oblivious to it, because the daughter hid what was going on online, and it wasn't like the daughter was doing anything bad. She just thought she was old enough, mature enough to handle it, and it was way more than what she could handle.
Yeah, and especially in these times of COVID. COVID's been really hard on kids. The virtual learning, being isolated. So it's kind of like the perfect storm of stuff.
Yes.
And that's why I say I don't buy into there's nothing we can do. Be an active parent. Again, Joe just laid it out. You just laid it out for him. I mean, if there was ever a playbook that is super simple to follow, there you go. You're welcome. So, and again, that's my soapbox, because we really, here at Patch, kids' social, emotional, behavioral issues are what we do.
Right.
Keeping kids safe after school, providing that caring adult, helping working parents, providing educational enrichment, that's our big thing. And that's every time the State Department comes in to monitor our programs, they're like, oh, how's their academic achievement? And I'm like, I don't care.
Right.
You know, and I know it's callous to say that, but we're more worried about their social, emotional, and behavioral aspects of what they're doing for society's reasons
Right.
than we are about their grades, because the school has 8 hours a day to work on grades.
Exactly.
We have an hour and a half to make sure that when they get done with their day, they're socially well, they're emotionally well, and their behavior's okay, so that by the time they go home, their homework's done, and they've had a healthy snack, and they've been around a caring adult, and their parents can come home from work and not have that stress and worry of, I got to hurry up and get homework done, they're kind of starving. We take all that off the shelf.
Right.
But we're not there to necessarily improve their grades. The teachers do a great job.
Right.
So, we don't need to beat them up more with that. So, anyway, it's a whole different, Justin, where are you at? We just got sidetracked. A very important topic, but and again, it's our soapbox here at Patch, but Joe, thank you. I'm glad you threw that out, because that's such an important statement. Social media and kids. Again, if you're just now tuning in, rewind 3 minutes and listen to Joe's spiel. Let your kids know that. That is super important.
Don't leave it up to the tech companies that they're going to solve everything.
They don't.
It's parents.
No.
It's nice that they're putting out tools to help parents, but
well,
you got to take the reins.
Right. At the end of the day, it's still the parent's responsibility to monitor their child's online activity. And
parents got a big job. Such a big job right now.
And don't get me wrong, these social media companies do need to be taken to task for some of the tactics they do. Don't get me wrong on that. But let's not burn them at the stake because of bad parenting.
Oh, yeah. As a parent, it's your responsibility to monitor your kid's phone, monitor their social media. It's not that hard. Bark is like $100 a month. If you really are concerned about your child and their behavior and what's going on online, spend $100. I spend $100 a month on frivolous stuff all the time that I could easily cut out.
I think it's $100 a year, isn't it?
Oh, it might even be $100 a year.
Well, let me look them up.
I'm just saying, whatever it is, it's well
worth
worth your child's mental health to monitor and keep them safe. Either way. So we did a bark review somewhere back down the line, but anyway, so dragging us back on track now that Joe's given us our public service announcement for your child's mental health or children out there's mental health. Good job, Joe. I like it.
Well, thank you.
And then
it's only $100 a year.
$100 a year, man. That's $8 a month, roughly. So okay. Anyway, all right. So Joe, you got a product review?
Yes. So this is a follow-up. The last time you
didn't bring anything with you, so
because this was at the customer's.
It's not a
house,
show and tell. I see how it is.
But it's nothing to ooh and all over. Trust me, I would have brought something in.
I like the ooh and all factor though.
I know
bringing something in, especially. Where's our phones at?
Yeah.
I don't even know if they're out yet.
Justin, we were promised Fisher Price toy phones that actually work.
I didn't promise them. You tried to promise them on my behalf.
I'm pretty sure you did, Justin. What do you think?
Joe keeps telling us they're coming soon. Best Buy keeps...
Well, Justin's calling my bluff. He's looking it up.
Coming soon.
So the last episode we talked about the model of Netgear Orbi mesh networking system and how not to touch it with a 10-foot pole.
Okay.
And then
is this the one you actually switched out the?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
All right. Yeah.
Yes. So today we're going to review the Eero Wi-Fi 6 mesh network.
How do you spell that?
EERO.
Okay.
They're owned by Amazon.
All right. So and this is what you switched into.
Yes.
Okay. So how's it going?
So far so good. The customers had these units since July. And talked to her last week or week before and just sent a quick text, said, hey, how's everything going? And I got back, love it, have no issues.
Nice.
Perfect.
Okay.
I said, that's what I want to hear.
Yeah.
Hold on, Justin's got our toy phone up.
Yeah, sold out.
See,
Joe,
I tried to get it, guys.
Don't even start. You scoundrel. You could have had us some awesome Christmas presents here. Yeah. And instead, you dropped the ball.
Sorry, guys.
You know what we're getting you for Christmas now? Nothing but coal, pal. Nothing but coal.
I'm going to say same thing as last year, was different color.
Nothing spelled nothing. Got you. Let's see how it is, Joe.
So the Eero Mesh Network offers whole home coverage with dual band coverage up to 1,500 square feet and with speeds of 900 megabits per second. It'll also allow you to connect more devices. It will give you faster Wi-Fi and support up to 75 or more devices simultaneously.
Wow.
Yeah. And when I first read that, I thought, Man, 75's a lot.
Yeah, who's gonna have 70? Well, I don't know.
Okay, think about it, Dave.
Yep, nope, I'm with you.
Okay, so you're seeing where
A
I'm going with it.
daycare, anything like that.
Well, just
and
think
maybe not even.
Okay, just think about your house, and I'm gonna start tallying on you.
Hold on, my house is probably the wrong house to think about.
No.
Okay.
Let me start throwing it out at you.
Nope. You're right.
Phones.
Yep.
Tablets. Laptops.
I counted tablets as laptops, but okay.
Okay. Security cameras. See, right there.
Hold on. Let me switch cameras here so everybody can see what we're doing. So now I'm at 10.
Okay. Any other smart thermostat?
11.
Smart locks, video doorbells, anything like
12.
that? Any other IoT devices like an Alexa or?
No, I don't have any of that.
Okay. So
I'm at 12, and I'm what I would call a technology desert.
Yeah.
Because I don't use all the normal frills that people like.
Right.
But just being where I'm at, between cameras, laptops, phones, doorbell, and thermostat, I'm at 12.
Yeah. See.
Yeah.
Way more than what you thought.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, until you said it, I was like, one or two.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, well, I don't know if you count Xbox video games.
Yeah.
Okay, so 13.
Yeah. Anything that connects to the internet. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm at 13, and I would consider myself very conservative with the internet stuff.
Yeah.
I don't even know what you call it.
Internet connected devices.
There you go. So yeah, Justin, what about you?
0.
Yeah, that's not true. Well, you don't have internet. Yeah, never mind. 0.
Yeah, so he is at 0.
Don't say he has a phone, but that's through its own.
Yeah.
Got the booster out there, but that's it.
Yeah.
If they'd let me get internet through a booster, I'd do it. But
Good luck.
well, that might be a question for Jeff.
You have to
later.
use your phone as a hotspot.
Yeah. Get on my Netflix.
Yep.
Stranger Things gaming.
Ooh,
something.
when's
Yeah.
Stranger Things coming out?
The new season? I don't know.
Good call.
I
I'm
think
a Stranger Things fan. I like
Me
the
too.
80 nostalgia stuff. Just rocks it. They did such a good job. I don't even care what the show's about. The 80s themed stuff is amazing.
mid next year.
Oh, jeez, it was November. What happened?
COVID.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. So what are we talking about?
The Eero
Eero mesh system.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And
So up to 75, and I have 13.
Yeah.
Just being conservative. So I'm
Yeah.
sure somebody has tablets and all the other crap.
latest bells and whistles and gadgets. See, I figure I would shock you on that one when
That is shocking.
you just don't even think about it.
I was trying to think.
Okay, so what about like Roku devices or
No,
stream?
I don't have any of that.
You don't even
I
have
don't
any?
have TV, so.
Okay.
But if I did, I mean, that would add, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, I think the last thing I want to add is a lock, like a Wise lock
Yeah.
to my door, so I don't have to use a key anymore. And I think that connects to the internet, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that'll be 14 then.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah, it slowly creeps up on you faster than you realize.
I agree. Jeez. And Justin,
Yeah.
1. Actually 0 because it's cell phone. Yeah, 0.
So the Wi-Fi 6 is running on the latest 802.11ax wireless band, so it's a high-speed connection between your devices. For security, it offers WPA2 and the newest WPA3. It also does cloud connectivity with TLS version 1.2 plus, AES, SHA 256, RSA, DHCP, IP version 6, NATing, VPN pass-through, universal plug-and-play, port forwarding, and static IP. And I know I just threw a bunch of just
Well,
gibberish at you
what
guys.
I really like is Justin's nodding.
Like, that's
He's
nice.
pretending like he,
Pretending I know, yeah.
pretending like he knows what's
Oh,
going on.
wow.
I didn't even nod, but I was impressed that you did. I was like, all right,
Well, I just,
Justin's getting some of this. All I heard was blah 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 blah
Yeah.
blah blah.
well, I just threw that out for the nerds in case there's somebody actually that
Yeah.
want to know if that has any of those bells and whistles.
And the fake nerds that nod along.
Yeah, the
Hey,
WP whatever.
Yeah, I was gonna say Justin was
70X.
along for the ride. Dave just going, okay, when's he going to end?
That's how I was like, somewhere along the lines, all these jumbles of numbers and letters will stop.
Yeah.
But that was a long one, Joe.
Yeah. Well, it's just something.
And then I got entertained by Justin, so it was okay.
Well, basically, what it boils down to is it has the latest security as well as your standard networking protocols
Okay,
for whatever you may need.
I'll nod to that. I
Okay.
understand. Huh. So good review then. Do you have like an official review that you want to do today, or is it?
Yeah,
more
this
of
is the official review. I had the pros, cons, and everything.
Okay. Well, then let's start with the pros.
Okay, so, and also before I do that, the system we set up with, this includes the main router and then one satellite, so to expand the coverage inside your home. How much do you think it retails for?
Hold on. Does this have cameras with it?
No, just a router and a satellite.
150.
Man, I don't know. Waze is kind of crazy. Here's the problem. Yeah, Wise has skewed has really caused a skew in technology pricing.
Right.
Because I feel like they just came in and just wrecked everything by selling cameras for $30 and,
right,
stuff like that. So, man, it's so hard to price stuff now. So, and part of the problem is I don't know how much a router is. So, I'm going to say 200 just because Justin's 150 and I feel like that's low for what all this technology stuff.
Yeah, I almost went 200, but...
Okay, so it retails for $199.99.
Ah!
Well, he went over though.
Yeah.
No, it's like prices. Oh, it is like that's
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
It costs without going over.
No, with tax it's over 200.
So now we can get into pros and cons.
All right, pros up.
Pros: ease of use and easy to set up.
And that's a big one for you, Joe.
Yes.
You love a good, easy setup.
Oh, I do, because it makes me look like I know what I'm doing. So you get the box, you open everything up, you download the Eero app, and it literally holds your hand through the whole process of getting everything set up and communicating. And then once it's set up, it just works. You connect to it just like any other Wi-Fi network, and everything communicates, and everybody's happy. The next pro: great coverage. When they say it covers up to 1,500 square feet, there's no exaggeration. I mean, granted, your mileage may vary depending on the setup of your home, but great coverage if in the ideal situations. Mm-hmm. And the price isn't bad for a mesh system, starting at $199.99 for a satellite and a main router. That's not a bad deal on that. Now the cons. This one was kind of a biggie. It's an Amazon product, and my issue with that is when I was setting it up, it kept trying to sign up for this Amazon service, sign up for that Amazon service, blah 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 blah, and then I was starting to get emails. Hey, why don't you sign up for this service for your Eero and do this, do that? It's like, you're a router. Your main job is to connect me to the internet. Leave me alone. Just do your job.
Time out. So, did you actually have this conversation?
Mentally, I'm going, you have one job to do it, and leave me alone.
Because I imagine in your job, there's a lot of times that you spend talking to stuff that is not going to talk. Well, I mean, I guess it could talk back to you, but...
Okay, talking, shouting, using four-letter words, sure.
You know what I mean? Because you're in one of those jobs, you're like, the wire won't go... where you need it to, and you're like, oh, listen here, I'm going to cut you in half.
Yeah.
We're going to start all over with a new piece of wire, and you're out of here. You're going in a dumpster.
I tell customers all the time, because I get this at least once a week. I'll show up on site for a call, and I'll walk in the door, and it'll just start working.
Yeah.
And I'll go, I don't know what happened. I said, I know exactly what it is. I said, it knew I was coming. It got scared, knows I'd gut it like a fish, and it said, okay, I'm going to start working now.
Yeah. Give it the Godfather spiel.
Yeah.
So that's funny. But, okay, so... so the router talks back.
Yeah.
So it's a little pushy.
Yeah.
And it's trying to sell you on some
Can you
stuff.
turn it off? That part of it? You know how you have the
opt-out features?
The little checkbox of subscribe here to get the newest emails.
Well, I didn't even have that option in the setup.
That's what I mean. So they're not even offering that.
No.
You just got to take it.
Yeah, and smile.
Yeah.
So the next con is there's no extra Ethernet ports, and for most people they're going, so.
No, I understand.
Being the tech guy, I like to have the capability, if I need to hardwire something in, have that ability, and you don't have that option.
There's not even one?
There's
one?
On the main router there's two. There's one for your internet to come in, and then there's one additional one on the satellites. There are none.
Yeah. You'd
wow.
You'd like to have like a couple.
Yeah.
So you can't add but one satellite.
Oh no, you can add as many satellites as you want because they all connect over Wi-Fi.
Okay.
But if you set your satellites on the other end of the house and you have a device that needs hardwired,
Yeah, you can't.
you can't hardwire it into that satellite.
Wow. Yeah, that's kind of a handicap. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
Because, I mean, how hard is it to add that?
right. Not very.
In this day and age, that should be standard.
Right. Well, everything's going. They want to push you everything to
Well, hold
Wi-Fi.
on. So this is my question. Does anything even have Cat 5 plugs anymore when you order it?
Oh yeah, yeah. The Orbeez do.
No, I meant like laptops, tablets. Do they still have the Cat 5 plugs?
getting
Laptops
harder
do.
to find, it
Yeah, they're
seems
getting
like.
harder to find. Yes, because they're
Okay, so
they're-
maybe that's why. Maybe they just said, you know what, everything's wireless anyway.
Well, but it's a stickler for me because
Yeah, you're in
my-
the field, though.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not usual. I'm not normal.
Yeah. Well, no, but I mean that makes sense because if you did need to hardwire something, if you did business at home like everybody's doing now,
Right.
you might want to hardwire in so that you have. Because I know when Kale's playing his video game, it slows everything down on our internet.
Right.
And I want really bad just to hardwire in and override his game, just for my own personal satisfaction.
Well, I can show you the setting to do that
Yeah.
because
It's not a big deal. It's just one of those things where I'm like, oh boy, if I had time and effort and really wanted to.
right. But one of the things, and I didn't give it any thought, but a friend of mine has a couple Airbnbs
Yeah.
that he rents out, and we actually had a person that wanted to stay there, and one of the requirements was, hey, I need an Ethernet port. I work remotely,
Yep.
and they won't let me use Wi-Fi. I need to be hardwired in.
Oh yeah.
You think
Security-
that's true?
security
Yeah,
concern.
because it was a person wanted to stay there, and that was one of their questions.
No, I mean, do you think that their work wouldn't let them do Wi-Fi?
Yeah, I've heard
yeah.
of that before.
Really?
Because they have concerns that so they could get a hold of.
Get into some sketchy
Information
Wi-Fi network at like
Wi-Fi.
at an open Wi-Fi network at like a Starbucks or whatever, and just wreak havoc. So yeah, it's
This person's a CIA or something, maybe.
Justin had to go there. Now it's a Black Ops mission. Here we go. I'm starting a rumor. Joe knows somebody that Joe has an Airbnb and he had the CIA there. Watch
Yeah.
out. Everybody in our small town will know all about it now.
Oh yeah,
You're welcome, Joe.
yeah. That'll be all across Walmart in about 10 minutes.
I know. Actually, I'm going to change it. Joe had the CIA at his house.
Nice, thanks, Dave. It's so helpful if there's a black van in my driveway. I'm just gonna keep on driving. I'm
Just
not
drive
gonna
right on by.
stop.
Cena, call me whenever they leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Is that the only con?
Well, the Amazon annoyance and no extra
Okay,
Ethernet
yeah,
ports
yeah.
are the
Two cons.
two cons.
Okay. So that's pretty good showing then.
So eventually you were able to get it to leave you alone. Like you kept.
Yeah, I ignored
So-
it all long enough, and it finally just said, "We're not getting any bites from this guy. We'll go on to the next."
It is annoying though because we have enough of those things coming in.
How did it get to you?
Because you have to
Provider email.
create an account.
So that just emails that.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So emails.
Yeah, part of the setup process, because the Eeros aren't like your standard networking routers that I'm used to, where you can just log into the portal and change all the settings you want. You have to use the Eero app,
Yeah.
and before you get to the next screen, you have to create an account or link it with your Amazon account, and
Gotcha.
yeah,
Okay. Well, that's good then.
they
I
have
mean,
that all nice bundled up like that.
only a couple of cons.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like that's a major one. I mean,
Yeah.
it is a pain, but you can always block those emails.
Right.
I'm seeing
Anyway.
a 4-star plus.
You
rating
think?
here, yeah.
No. I think you're overshooting that one a little bit.
Well, I'm still learning though. Joe's.
Well,
ways.
you're gonna say it
been
has
working
two
with them
cons and one of them's
much
no Ethernet. I'm saying that's pretty major.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I don't know.
The
Joe's.
coverage is excellent though, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are some pros. I give you that. All right, so let's tell you what. Justin and I'll play this little game, Joe, while you
Okay.
work out what your star rating is going to be if you haven't already. So, Justin, your arguments for 4+ stars.
Yeah, I'm gonna settle right on 4.
Oh, now you're backing down to 4. Okay. It was 4+.
Well, I don't. Does he do quarter stars?
Yeah,
Four and a
yeah, I
quarter?
do quarters and
Yeah, he does
halves
the
and-
whole range.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
do 4 and a quarter.
4 and a quarter. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to go 4 because I
Okay.
think it's good,
That's
but it's
fair.
nowhere near 5.
You probably got me there.
So,
When I said 4 plus, yeah. I'm
yeah,
not-
4+ is a little tricky. They'll let me sway you. If you want to go with 4, go with 4. You'll be on the winning team if you go with 4. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
I'll give you a chance here to think this one through.
Nah, 4 and a quarter.
Oh, now you're just being stubborn. All right, that's fine.
Okay,
All right, Joseph, where we at?
Okay, so
I'm
Justin's
kicking
at
him under the
Justin's
table
at 4 and a quarter. Dave, where are you?
I'm at 4 because
Okay.
I think it's a solid review from you, and I think the 2 are just something that you will say only pertains to you,
Right.
and therefore it still rates pretty high because you like everything else about it.
Right.
And especially since the customer had a good review,
Right.
I think that'll just solidify you pushing it above average,
Right.
which I'm going to say is a 4.
So, and I've struggled with this review, guys, because I'm looking at it for my daily use, but
Yeah.
I have to put myself in the average consumer's. So for me personally, if I was going to get it, I would only give it 3.5 stars on my side.
Right.
But for the general consumer, solid 4-star all the way.
There we go. So Justin, good job. You read this well. I read it very well.
But-
Oh yeah, I'm 4.25. I mean that's fine. And I feel like I pushed you to 4.25 because you said the 4+ originally. Otherwise, I think you'd have been on 4.
We're both, we both had them figured out on that one.
Yeah.
If you need a mesh system that you don't require a lot of work to set up, definitely look at the Eeros.
Yeah.
But now if you're a tech guy or a tech person like me and you want to have all these bells and whistles and hardwired Ethernets and all that,
Yeah.
it's going to be a hard sell.
Some other ones out there that would have some of the bells and
Yes.
whistles you're looking for?
Yes.
Okay.
Would they cost more?
A little bit more.
Yeah.
The Orbeez that I dumped on a couple weeks ago, one of the pros is they did have Ethernet ports, but
Right.
that's about the only good thing I can say about them.
I got you. All right. Well, Joe, if anybody has any questions, they're interested in the security system, the mesh systems that you deal with, how they get a hold of you?
You give us a call at our office at 304-927-3588. Check out our website at amdigitaltechnologies.com. And be sure to subscribe to the podcast Help Desk with Joe and Dave. We're on all the major podcast platforms, and all of our episodes are hosted by Anchor.fm.
All right, sounds great. And just a reminder, and I know I say this all the time, but Joe and Cena own A&M Digital Technologies, a local business here in Spencer, West Virginia. And you all do work locally, regionally, nationwide. Of course, you can ship anything anywhere now. So if you want to support a local business, and here's the big plug. Joe and Cena support Patch and everything about Patch. All this stuff you see, all the computers. I don't even know how many computers we have. It's craziness. With all the after school and daycare and community development stuff we do. You guys are in all of it.
Can we do a little plug for the scale we talked about earlier?
Yes, we can.
It's Saturday, December 18th, A&M Digital Technologies.
Yeah.
He said, Dave, they do a great job supporting Patch. They're going to do a Wise Scale giveaway at the race.
Ooh, nice. At our ugly sweater run.
Yeah.
It's a smart scale. So
Yeah, it's a Wise smart scale. Yeah.
Nice.
And we appreciate that, Joe.
Yeah.
A&M.
Well, and Joe and Cena's always support our programs. You guys did the, I want to say Google Maps challenge for our Strava group, our fitness Strava group, where you guys had Wise bands, and people got coordinates and had to go hike out and find them. And then they came back and got their Wise bands, which is pretty cool. So always involved with our stuff. So if you get a chance, you're doing anything technology-wise, support A&M Digital Technology. Even if you're out of state and you just happen to listen to this show or podcast, and you say, hey, I want to do something good for a small business in a community, A&M Digital Technology is where you need to go. All right. Well, that is show 87, Help Desk with Joe and Justin in the books. And anything that we missed?
I don't think so. I think we covered a lot today.
Be careful driving out there.
Yeah, be careful driving. And hey, if anybody needs Christmas presents, you guys sell a lot of stuff on your A&M Digital Technology website, right?
Yes.
So go there for your technology stuff, and
then we ship nationwide.
Nationwide. There we go.
So
it's not too late.
Get
Joe,
some orders in soon, though, right?
Yeah, Joe will get it to you. How about that?
I might be talking to you. I might need you to pick out some Christmas presents for me.
I know. Where's my Christmas present phone, man? I want it now. The antique, the Fisher Price antique phone.
Just found they was sold out.
Gosh, Joe, you better have 2 sitting at your place that you got earlier, and you're just waiting to throw them on us as a surprise. That's all I'm
I
saying.
saw a commercial for one of those coffee mugs that stays heated, a heated coffee mug.
What?
I thought, that'd be a cool gift for my sister. $200.
Oh wow!
I was like, well, never mind.
Doesn't she live in the desert?
Yeah, I couldn't justify a $200 coffee mug.
I think you might need to go the other way and get the one that cools.
Yeah.
just FYI, in my perspective.
Yeah, for that you know how many coffee pots you could send her, even a Keurig. How many of those you could send?
You could get like a super insulated mug for that amount.
Yeah.
Bad idea. I scrapped that one.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Back to Joe's website to find something else.
Instead of a Yeti cooler, just get her a Yeti mug that'll keep everything warm and say Merry Christmas.
You know what's funny? I got a catch in my throat, but I didn't get it until I came in here. And now I'm like, guys, I'm coughing all over the place.
Oh, great. We've got some kind of mold.
No, it's just one of those things where I just need to clear my throat good and get a drink of water. But It's like, man, of all times, right here. Anyway. All right, anyway, so we're here at the Patch Studio in Spencer, West Virginia. Help Desk with Joe, show number 87, and another great show for all your technology needs. So, Joe, Justin, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
And we will be back next week with more information, helping out the general consumer, helping out businesses, doing all that good stuff that people, need done. Yeah. Need to stay up on technology-wise. So go back midway through, listen to Joe's statement if you're a parent, play that for your kids, or you give that same spiel even more importantly. Take care of your kids.
If you're a Verizon user, he's got a tip for you.
Yeah, gosh. Yeah. Amazing stuff. All right, well, that's show 87 in the books. Everybody, we'll be back next week. Everybody have a great week.